Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I am Muhammad Yasin. This is virtual class of Pakistan International School Taif. This class is for the students of grade 9. We are going to do exercises of chapter 12 today. This is our 27th video in this class. In our today's lesson, we shall learn to do grammar exercises given at page 103 and 104. We shall understand better the theme of this unit. We shall come to know what the writer wants to say in this lesson. We shall do exercises of unit 12. We have read it before. We have done some exercises before also. We shall do the remaining ones today. First of all, we shall start from the exercise given at page 103. Dear students, it is very important to read out the sentences which are given before this exercise. In fact, that those sentences are to guide us to do this exercise. For example, if we look at page 101, we can see here are sentences, and at this page we can find the information about the coming exercise. We come to know that the coming exercises will be from past perfect tense. Sentences will be in active voice and they will be affirmative. Past perfect tense means the tense which tells us an action which was done in past, and perfect means it was completed in past. Active voice is a sentence in which subject does the work. Work is not done on the subject. When subject does the work, that is called active voice. Affirmative means not negative. After reading these sentences given at page 101, there are more at 102, some more are there at 103. After reading all these sentences, we shall be very well equipped to do the coming exercise. Next exercise. Dear students, after reading these sentences means we should be able to translate any sentence given in Urdu here at this page into English. Let us start the exercise. क्या तुम्हारा भाई ये इम्तिहान पहले ही पास कर चुका था? If we look at the sentence, we come to know this is given in past perfect tense. It is affirmative. It is active voice. Had your brother already passed this examination? मैंने इतना खूबसूरत जानवर पहले नहीं देखा था. I had not seen such a beautiful animal before. क्या मदद मिलने से पहले जख्मी मर चुका था? Had the patient died before he received help? तुम्हारे पहुंचने से पहले वो स्कूल नहीं गया था. He had not gone to school before you reached. सूरज 5 बजे से पहले गुरूब नहीं हुआ था. The sun had not set before 5 o'clock. Dear students, these were the first 5 sentences. Now we shall do the remaining ones. Sentence number 6. Sentence number 6. पुलिस के आने से पहले लोगों ने चोर को क्यों नहीं पकड़ा था? Why the people had not caught the thief? Why the people had not caught the thief before the police arrived? जब मैं स्टेडियम पहुंचा तो मैच खत्म हो चुका था. The match had ended when I reached the stadium. क्या गाड़ी 6 बजे से पहले रवाना हो चुकी थी? Had the train departed? बेटा, when we say गाड़ी तो हम ट्रेन ही इसका मतलब लेते हैं. The train had departed when क्या गाड़ी 6 बजे से पहले रवाना हो चुकी थी? This is a question. Had the train departed before 6 o'clock? इन बच्चों ने कभी शेर नहीं देखा था. These children had not seen the lion. क्या उसकी पैदाइश से पहले उसका बाप मर चुका था? Had his father died before his birth? हमीद ने अब तक कर्जा क्यों वापस नहीं किया था? Why Hamid had not returned the loan until now? कर्जा loan. Why Hamid had not returned the loan until now? क्या तुमने मेरे आने से पहले नावल खत्म कर लिया था? Had you finished the novel before I arrived? क्या तलबा वक्त से पहले ही पर्चा हल कर चुके थे? Had the students finished the paper before the time? मेहमान वहां शाम होने से पहले नहीं पहुंचे थे। The guests had not reached there before evening. मेरे स्कूल में दाखिल होने से पहले चपड़ासी ने घंटी नहीं बजाई थी। चपड़ासी is the peon of school who ring the bell. The peon had not rung the bell before I entered the school. Dear students, this was the exercise given at page number 103. Let us move forward and do the exercise that is given at page 104. वो इससे पहले गाड़ी में सवार नहीं हुआ था. He had not boarded the train before this. सैलाब आने के बाद लोग गांव छोड़कर कहां चले गए? Where had the people left the village after the flood came? क्या पुलिस के पहुंचने से पहले चोर नकब लगा चुका था? नकब लगाना, to break into, that is given in the vocabulary given in your book. Had the thief broken into before the police reached? जलजला से पहले आंधी ने छतें नहीं उड़ाई थीं. The windstorm had not flown away the roofs before earthquake. Dear students, these were the first 4 sentences of this exercise. Sentence number 5 is, मेरी तकरीर से पहले किसने तकरीर की थी? Who had delivered his speech or made his speech? Both will be correct. Who had delivered his speech before my speech? Or before my address can be written also. Number 6, क्या तुम तारीख़ इस्लाम पहले ही पढ़ चुके थे? Had you already studied the history of Islam? हमने ऐसा खतरनाक सांप पहले नहीं देखा था. खतरनाक, dangerous, that is given in the vocabulary. We had not seen such a dangerous snake before. Part number 8 is, तुमने ऐसा हैरत अंगेज नज़ारा पहले नहीं देखा था. हैरत अंगेज is given in number 5, wonderful. This is number 8. You had not witnessed such a wonderful scene before. मैंने ऐसी दिलचस्प कहानी नहीं सुनी थी. I had not heard such an interesting story. उन्होंने ऐसा दिलकश नज़ारा कभी नहीं देखा था. दिलकश is given at number 6, attractive. नज़ारा, sight. They had not seen or witnessed, witnessed is better, they had not witnessed such an attractive sight before. क्या मोटर कार खरीदने से पहले वो काफी रुपया बचा चुका था? Had he saved, रुपया बचाना is given at number 8, to save, to Save. Had he saved much money before he bought car? Number 12. सूरज निकलने से पहले शिकारी जाल नहीं बिछा चुका था. The hunter had not spread. Laid is better also. The hunter had not laid the net before the sun rose. सूरज निकलने से पहले before the sun rose. क्या रीछ के पहुंचने से पहले वो दरख्त पर चढ़ चुका था? Had he climbed the tree before the bear reached? इंस्पेक्टर के आने से पहले कोई स्कूल से बाहर नहीं गया था. No one had gone out of the school before the inspector arrived. क्या मेहमानों के आने से पहले तुम घर सजा चुके थे? Had you decorated the home before the guests arrived? जब मैं घर से निकला तो सूरज गुरूब नहीं हुआ था. The sun had not set when I came out of the house or home. Dear students, we have finished this exercise that was given at page 104. Let us move forward. This is our book lesson, grammar section. We read this conditional, second conditional, in our previous lesson also. I want you review it before starting this exercise. Dear students, conditional type 2 is imaginary conditional. Why it is imaginary? Because the condition given in this conditional is not possible to happen. Conditionals of this type are used when we talk about something which we do not expect to happen or which is purely imaginative. For example, if I were the president, is it possible to be the president for me? No. That is why this is called imaginative. If I were the president of the university, I should establish a compulsory course in how to use your eyes. In this conditional, imaginary sentences will be given which are not possible to occur, to happen. After this, let us get some knowledge of kinds of sentences. Simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences. Simple are the ones which can stand alone. They give us complete meaning without the support of any other part of the sentence. They are called simple sentences. When we combine two sentences, two simple sentences, they make a compound sentence. Complex sentence is a complex sentence consists of one or more main clauses and one or more subordinate clauses. Subordinate is the opposite of independent clause. Yes, students, this is exercise B. In this exercise, we are set to make three conditionals of type 2. All these three are of type 2 sentences. We would help you if we came. My brother would buy a sports car if I gave him the money. If I felt better, I would go to the cinema with you. Yes, students, these are the sentences given in type 2. In the next exercise, we are set to match the halves or to make complete sentences. For example, we shall read the first sentence. If you had not drunk water from the well, it will join with you wouldn't have fallen in. If you eat sweets all the time, your teeth would go bad. If you don't use a mosquito net, you may catch malaria. Dear students, we have to find out the link between the sentences given in column 1 and given in column 2. For example, here it is written use a mosquito net. Mosquito is directly related to malaria. That is why we shall join this sentence with this sentence. When we join these sentences, they become like this. If you had not drunk water from that well, you wouldn't have fallen in. If you eat sweets all the time, your teeth would go bad. If you don't use mosquito net, you may catch malaria. If you don't keep food in the fridge, it will go bad in hot weather. If you cycle with things in your hand, you may fall off. If you wave the stick in the air, you might hit somebody's head. Dear students, after doing this exercise, this is the next one. In this exercise, we are said to pick out simple, compound and complex sentences from the text. I have written here one complex sentence in the beginning. Sometimes I have thought that it would be an excellent rule to live each day as if we should die tomorrow. This is a complex sentence. So the city becomes my destination. This is a simple sentence. If I were the president of the university, I should establish a compulsory course in how to use your eyes. This is a complex sentence. Keller suffered a series of strokes in 1961 and spent the last years of her life at her home. This is a compound sentence. Dear students, here we are said to identify and write simple, compound and complex sentence in the given column. He came to see me, but I was not present at home. This will be a compound sentence. After doing this, it will look like this. First is compound sentence, second is simple, then complex, then simple, simple, complex, compound, complex sentence, and complex sentence. If there is any confusion here, to recognize them, you can go back and read again the definitions of simple, compound, and complex sentences. They will help you to develop better understanding of these simple, compound, and complex sentences. The only way to understand is read the definitions again and again and try to understand. Memorize them. They will help you to do such type of exercises. Dear students, this is exercise F. In this exercise, we are said to identify hyphens and dashes. Hyphens and dashes in the following sentences and mark in the relevant box. The first thing to do this exercise is we should know what is a hyphen and what is a dash. Let us try to understand. A hyphen joins two or more words together, while a dash separates words into parenthetical statements. The two are sometimes confused because they look so similar, but their usage is different. Hyphens are not separated by spaces. Boys, if there is hyphen, on any side there will be no space, while a dash has a space on each side. Okay, these are first four sentences. If we look at first sentence, you can see, is there any space on any side? No. Secondly, 35. This hyphen is joining 30 and 5. Hyphen is used to join words. Dash is used to separate words. That is why the first sentence will be hyphen sentence. Second, you can see, in fact, dash is a little bigger than hyphen also, and there is space on each side. Second sentence will be a dash sentence. Third will also be a dash sentence. sentence number 4 be a hyphen sentence. Here are sentences 5 to 8. Sentence number 5 is hyphen. You can see hyphen is so small. In number 6, that is bigger and space is there, that is why it will be dash sentence. 7 also dash sentence. 8 will be a hyphen sentence. I think you have got idea of hyphen and dash. Let us move forward. We have come to writing skills. The first exercise of writing skill is what does the author mean by saying the seeing see little? Explain in a paragraph. We are set to explain this phrase, the seeing see little. What does it mean? Let us try to explain it. I have written here the paragraph. Not necessary it is to write the same. It can help you to write your own. You can add in it, you can leave from it. I shall read it for you. Language is simple. You can understand it very well. This is the first part of this paragraph in front of you. Second part is given on the next slide. Let us read it. According to her, most of us take life for granted. We know that one day we must die, but usually we picture that day as far in the future. When we are in buoyant health, good health, death is all but unimaginable. We seldom think of it. The days stretch out in an endless vista, so we go about our petty tasks, hardly aware of our listless attitude towards life. Only the deaf appreciate hearing. Only the blind realize the manifold blessings that lie in sight. What does it mean? It means if someone has no eyes, he knows the importance of eyes. Second part of this paragraph is particularly, does this observation apply to those who have lost sight and hearing in adult life? Dear students, very simple things are mentioned here. You can read it in detail and learn it to prepare for the examination. Let us move forward. This is exercise B. In this exercise, we are said to find out the Epicurean motto. What is Epicurean motto? We have to discuss it. Epicurean was an ancient Greek philosopher. His motto is eat, drink, and be merry. He believes that we should live each day of our life by eating, drinking, and being happy without caring for anything else. Yes, students, this is exercise C. In exercise C, we are set to write a paragraph on the difficulties of a special child. What is a special child? Dear students, sometimes we find some children who are not able to walk properly, to talk properly, to see properly. There is some problem with their leg, with their arm. They are called special children. What are they called? Special children. In this paragraph, we shall discuss the difficulties of special child. For example, if there is someone blind, he cannot see properly. What are the problems that he has to face in life? Again, this paragraph is a sample for you. You can add in it, leave from it. A special child has special needs because he might need medicine, therapy, or extra help in school. Stuff other kids don't typically need or only need once in a while. Maybe you know of kids in your school who need a wheelchair or use braces when they walk. Those kids have special needs. They not only need the equipment that helps them get around, but they might need to have ramps or elevators available. Kids who have illness such as epilepsy or diabetes would have special needs too. Yes, students. We are discussing about the special children who are sick, not healthy. They need some special assistance depending upon their illness. Epilepsy, dear students, is a illness when the patient is not in his senses. It takes some time to become normal. Diabetes, you know very well. These are the sicknesses mentioned here. When someone is sick, he may need some assistance, special care. If it is not provided, they may face difficulties, problems. The second part of the paragraph is they might need medicine or other help as they go about their day. Kids with sight problems who cannot see well, might use special apps, tablets or computers to read. Those with hearing or speech problems would have special needs too. A kid who has hearing trouble might need hearing aids to hear and speech therapy too, since it can be hard to say words correctly when you cannot hear very well. Yes, student, the person who cannot hear very well cannot speak very well, because we learn speaking by hearing. When we hear, we come to know the sound of the word. Then we copy it. We say the same word, that is called speaking. But when someone cannot hear well, he cannot speak well also, because he does not know how to pronounce the word. We learn by hearing. We learn speaking by hearing. Okay, dear students, this was the paragraph. As I told you, it was a sample. You can change it. The next exercise is read any of these texts written by Helen Keller and write a book review. Dear students, Helen Keller has written these books. The Story of My Life. She has written the book The Story of My Life. She has written another book, The World I Live In. The World I Live In. You are set to read these books. When you read this first book, you will write your opinion about the book, how you found the book, how long it was, how was the story, was it interesting, did you enjoy, could you understand very well, how was the language, how was the content. You give your opinion about the content of the book. Dear students, this book is available on internet. I have written here, I have copied here URL also. If you go to Google, write over there The Story of My Life written by Helen Keller, you will find it on internet in PDF format. In the same way, if you write on Google The World I Live In written by Helen Keller, then you will find it on Google also. I have copied here the URL that I found on my internet. If you write it on Google, you will find it also. Try to read it and write as much as you could. I mean your opinion about the book. That will be called your review of the book. Dear students, this was exercise D. This was the last exercise of this unit. In your homework, you will do both grammar exercises in your notebook. You will do them in your notebook. These are the exercises that we have done today. In the same way, you will do all exercises in your notebook. The exercises of Unit 12 that we did in our today's lesson. This will be your homework. Dear students, that is all from our today's lesson. See you later in a new lesson. Goodbye.